So good evening, all of you. Today is 16th October 2023. Here is Mangesh Naneshwar Borkar sir, Director to Sambodhi Career Academy, Thane West Mumbai region. And on today, we are starting our new innovative chapter of group discussion for the preparation of civil services examination and rest of the examination. This discussion will definitely help a lot to all those students who are preparing for specifically civil services, state services, and rest of the central government, state government examinations, right? So, what is theme of our or what is idea of this group discussion on every Monday at evening 9 to 10 p.m. that one senior student who studied at Sambodhi IAS Academy, okay, for at least for 1 or 2 years, okay, at the undergraduate or graduate level. So he or she should take initiative, take one topic, and start interactive discussion with the rest of the new or the old students. So, the idea is that through this way, it will help you to develop your communication skill, to develop your thought process. Thought process already we are putting the emphasis on thought process, development of the thought process, because at the time of interview, this thought process is very important. Opinion is very important. Sometimes critical angle is very important. So develop your personality, your presentation, your communication skill, your critical ability, logical ability. Okay. We have started this innovative online session. Okay. And today is the first date of this discussion. Okay. Earlier also we adopted this kind of techniques to improve the personality of the students at in our classroom batches. And after pandemic, we had these kind of sessions, okay, through our officers, okay, from my side, from Joseph sir's side, and rest of the faculties. But now, better hum. But now, I am involving students to ready to get their presentation ready on different topics. So in today's first chapter, I am inviting Rosario. Okay, she is from Nalasopara, Mumbai, and very dedicated, very potential, and a student with great intellectual capacity. In fact, all the students, those who have been associated with Sambodhi Career Academy, so they are having great intellectual potential and capacity. And I am sure about the positive result of each and every student who is associated with Sambodhi Career Academy. And on many occasions, Rini expressed her viewpoint related to so many topics and so many issues. Okay, so first, our first opening batsman for today's group discussion is Rini, and her topic of discussion is recent Israel-Hamas conflict. Okay, so I appeal all of you that you should also participate in this group discussion, and you should have a healthy discussion. Okay, so Rini will put up his her viewpoint, whatever she prepared with respect to this topic. And on every Monday, the senior students and then after the new students also, they will participate in this discussion and they will present their topics. Okay. So yeah, Rini, welcome to you, and over to you now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you, sir, for providing us with this opportunity. This will truly benefit all of us. Before starting, am I audible enough?
Yes.
Yes.
So, the Israel-Hamas conflict, that the recent conflict that has been happening, it is very important from the examination point of view. That's the reason I selected this topic. And so I would like to delve on this topic more from the historical point of view, because this conflict between Israel and Palestine has been going on since many years, but we fail to truly identify the root cause of this issue. So, beginning with the presentation. Okay. So, the conflict started on 7th October 2023, basically when Hamas launched thousands of rockets from Gaza into Israel. Now, everyone, all of us know that Israel has this Iron Dome system. This system is basically one of the best air defense systems in the world. Whenever rockets are launched in the Israel airspace, the dome system uses the latest military system to intercept the rockets and destroy them midair. So usually this system helps to keep Israel safe. However, due to the vast number of rockets that were being launched by Hamas, this system failed to intercept all of these rockets, which led to death and destruction on the Israel's side. Hamas also launched attacks from the ground, sea, and air, and and infiltrated into the Israel territory. Israel has also declared a state of war and conducted strikes in Gaza, using death and destruction on the Palestine side as well. So, how all of this started was the military commander of Hamas, named Muhammad al-Daif. He named this operation as Operation Al-Aqsa Flood. He said that Hamas did this as Israel had committed atrocities on the Palestinians, and specifically, this was a response to the Al-Aqsa Mosque incident of Jerusalem that happened in 2021. And Israel's response to the surprise attack of Hamas has been named as Operation Iron Sword, and Israel has deployed its Navy, Air Force, and ground force and have launched drone strikes in Gaza as well. Talking about Hamas, so Hamas is an extremist Palestinian organization. It is designated as a terrorist organization by Canada, European Union. It is designated as terrorist organization by Canada, European Union, Israel, EU, Japan, Australia, and USA. Then there are countries who do not consider it as a terrorist organization. They are Brazil, China, Egypt, Iran, Norway, Qatar, Syria, Russia, Turkey. And there are certain countries like New Zealand and Paraguay, so which consider the military wing of Hamas as a terrorist organization. So if we see the geographical location of Israel and Palestine, it is located in the Middle East. In the north, there is Lebanon. In the northeast, there is Syria. To the east, there is Jordan. Then to the southwest, we have Egypt. And to the west, there is the Mediterranean Sea. Palestine is divided into two territories, that is on the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. So Israel is the center part, and the West Bank region has many Israeli settlements, which is controlled by the Israel. The UN considers this as a violation of the international law and states that these settlements of Israel have no legal validity. The Palestinian territories in the West Bank are administered by the Palestinian authorities, which is under the control of Fatah, which is a political party of the Palestinians. And the Gaza Strip, that is completely under the control of Hamas. Now we know that Jerusalem is a very crucial aspect and a topic of argument between the two countries. So this Jerusalem is located in the West Bank region. So this is important from the religious point of view to Christians, Jews, and Muslims. The West Jerusalem is under Israel with majority of Israel population, and the East Jerusalem has the majority of Palestinian population. And as per international law, it is a part of Palestine, but this is occupied by Israel. Both Israel and Palestine consider that Jerusalem is as their own territory. and many Palestinians in East Jerusalem had to face eviction from this territory as well. The Gaza Strip, it is occupied by a militant group or political party, Hamas, and the Palestinian Prime Minister, who has authority over the Palestinian region in the West Bank, has no control over the Gaza Strip. So the rockets firing and airstrikes between Israel and Gaza uh, is mostly happening. That always happens between Israel and Gaza. The West Bank of Palestine has nothing to do with all these airstrikes and everything, and they do not indulge in these with Israelis living on the West Bank region, as like Israelis also live in the West Bank region, so they do not indulge in this activity. However, the borders of Gaza are clearly defined and has no Israeli resident in this region. That's the reason there's constant conflict between the Gaza Strip and Israel. And Gaza is blocked by Israel from one side as well as by Egypt from the other side. Israel is also being accused of illegal occupation of land, uh, and it is accused of illegal occupation of land in the West Bank region and not in Gaza. Now talking about the is my screen visible?
Yes.
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 Yeah. So talking about the Al-Aqsa mosque incident that the Hamas claimed is the reason for their attack. So what happened is in May 2021, there's this region called Sheikh Jarrah in Jerusalem where many Palestinian families were ordered to leave their homes. So they were being evicted by the Israelis. These were the extremist right-wing Israelis. So this situation escalated, and there were provocative speeches by extremist leaders, and there were rallies leading to clashes between Palestinians and Israelis. So on May 7, 2021, Palestinians were protesting against the eviction, where the situation escalated, where stones were thrown, and the Israeli police tried to control the situation. Then on 10th May 2021, Israeli police entered the Al-Aqsa Mosque and fired rubber bullets and stun grenades at the Palestinians who were praying there. So the Israeli police claimed they had information on some Palestinians who were sitting in the mosque with stones to attack the Israeli people's rallies, the rallies by the extreme Israeli people who were carrying the slogan "Death to Arabs." So Israelis claimed that the Palestinians were hiding there to attack Israelis, and that's the reason they attacked them. So after this incident, the Hamas gave an ultimatum to the Israeli troops to stand down from the mosque after the incident, or else they would attack and launch rockets at Israel. And they did so after a few hours from Gaza, and Israel in retaliation also conducted airstrikes on Gaza. So now Israel's occupation of the West Bank and the eviction of Palestinians in the West Bank is considered wrong according to the international observers on the humanitarian law grounds as well. However, if we go to see Hamas's action or the response to uh, Israel's Israel's occupation of the land, if we go to see Hamas's action, that is also not justifiable because, like Mahatma Gandhi has said, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So now let us take a look at the history between the Israel and Palestine conflict. So we know that the Israel is a country of Jews. So Jews were persecuted since a long time, and hence there was a sentiment of creating a separate Jewish country. So in 1881, there was the first large-scale migration of Jews, which was seen in the Palestinian area. So they chose this area as Jerusalem is the holiest place for Jews. So the Jews, they migrated to Palestine region. So initially there was no Israel, Gaza, or West Bank at that time. The entire region was called as Palestine, which fell under the Ottoman Empire. During the First World War, British made a deal with Arabs to defeat its rival, promising them that the Palestine area would be theirs. And Arab at that time wanted to create their own Arab state. The same promise was made to the Jews as well, that if you help me in this war, then we will give you the Palestine area for you all to make your own Jewish country. So have even though they made this promise both with both Arabs and Jews, they however made a secret pact with French. So after the defeat of Ottoman Empire, the British and French divided the Middle East area between themselves, and the entire region of Palestine was taken under the British control. Now we know that Hitler's persecution of Jews, which led them to flee to different regions, where many came to Palestine. So initially, British allowed them refuge under uh, humanitarian grounds, but later the Israeli they stopped the refugees from coming to the Palestine area. So this led to an Israeli nationalist movement in Palestine. At the same time, around 1940s, Palestine nationalist movement had also begun, demanding a separate Palestinian country. In 1948, British then left Palestine and they gave the responsibility of creating two different countries for Jews and Palestinians to the United Nations. So now the United Nations made a partition law, a plan for the formation of a Jewish and a Palestinian state, where they gave 45% area for an Arab state and 55% area for a Jewish state, leaving Jerusalem under international control because both Arab and Arab, that is Palestine, and Jewish, that is Israel, wanted Jerusalem under them. Now the Jews accepted this plan and they named their country Israel, and that is how Israel was formed. Now the neighboring countries, Arab countries, they were not happy with this plan and they launched an attack against Israel. And this was called the First Arab-Israeli War, which took place in 1948. This war was won by Israel. Now, in 1949, after the end of the war, Israel captured major portion of Palestine, including West Jerusalem, and Gaza Strip was captured by Egypt, and the West Bank area that was captured by Jordan. So now Palestinians had no country of their own, and they became refugees in these Arab nations. And this incident is called as the 1948 Palestinian Exodus. You can see in the map that how Gaza is under the Egypt's territory and West Bank is under Jordan. Then in 1967, we have the Second Arab-Israeli War. This war lasted for 6 days and Israel won this war as well. After this war, Israel occupied the Gaza Strip, the West Bank region, and also the Sinai Peninsula of Egypt. Then later, there was this foundation of Palestine Liberation Organization. So initially the aim was to get their own country through an armed struggle, and they wanted the country of Israel to cease to exist. So this led to USA and Israel declaring it to be a terrorist organization. In 1973, the Third Arab-Israel War took place, and in 1974, the Palestine Liberation Organization recognized the Arab League and the was recognized by the Arab League and UN General Assembly as a representative of Palestinians, and it was no longer considered as a terrorist organization. In 1979, there were peace talks between Israel and Egypt, and these peace talks were successful, and Egypt became the first Arab country to recognize Israel as a country. So after these peace talks, the entire Sinai Peninsula, which was captured by Israel in the Second Arab-Israel War, it was returned to Egypt. Egyptian Prime Minister Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, they were awarded with the Nobel Peace Prize for this peace treaty. Unfortunately, the Egyptian Prime Minister was assassinated in Cairo in 1981 by extremists because they thought that the peace treaty that they signed with Israel was not fair. From 1967 to 1980s, many Israelis started establishing their colonies in the West Bank region. These permanent settlements were supported by Israeli government. However, the international community deemed these settlements to be illegal as they go against the UN partition plan and the UN partition plan and the Palestinians considered this as a colonization. In 1992, the Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin said that a Palestine Liberalization Organization is not a terrorist organization and that the Palestinians just wanted their own country and the Israelis should let them have it. So Israel officially then recognized PLO, and PLO in return officially recognized Israel as a country. And in 1993, Oslo Accords took place, where the leaders of both the countries met and spoke about how the country can be correctly and peacefully divided, and a Palestinian country be created. So, as a result, in 1994, the Palestinian government is established for the first time, called the Palestinian National Authority. But by this time, many Israelis had established permanent settlements in many of the West Bank areas. So they had their schools, proper roads, houses, hospitals, everything established there. Since it was very difficult to decide how to divide the West Bank area in order to give the Palestinians their own country. So it was decided to divide the West Bank area into three parts. So as you can see in the map, area A, which is denoted by the dark green color, is basically where the Palestinian government would be in control. Area B, is where both the government will exercise control. That is denoted by the light green color. And then there is area C, where the Israeli government will be in control, which is denoted by the light pink color. And so if we can see from this map, it is seen that Palestine was divided into very tiny parts. So it was very difficult to call it as a whole country. They didn't have much space or like a uniform uh, area under their control. However, after this peace treaty and this division of areas, this brought Palestine and Israel to come closer and their relations were getting better. And for this reason, in 1994, the president of Palestinian Authority, Yasser Arafat, and the Prime Minister of Israel, Yitzhak Rabin, they were awarded Nobel Peace Prize. However, this situation began going downhill when the extreme right-wing Jewish people assassinated their own prime minister, that is Yitzhak Rabin, in 1995. And prior to this incident in 1987, some Islamist fanatics in Palestine came together and they formed the Hamas group. The peace treaty was condemned by the Hamas group as well as the right-wing Jewish extremists because Hamas wanted the entire region as well as the ones that was under the control of Israel as well. That is the country of Israel as their own. And similarly, Israelis wanted the entire Palestinian region from Gaza Strip as well as from the West Bank region to come under theirs. And each of them wanted that the other country should not exist. Similarly, situation there began a series of conflicts between both the countries. In 2007, there was a civil war that took place between Hamas and Fatah because both of them did not had different ideologies. The Hamas was very opposed against the idea of having a country of Israel, Jewish country, that is Israel's having the country. However, Fatah was more secular in their thinking that they wanted both the countries to simultaneously be there peacefully. So this war that took place was also known as the Battle of Gaza, and Palestine was divided into two parts, where Gaza Strip, which that goes, it came completely under the control of Hamas, and the West Bank came under the control of Fatah. So now if we take into consider, so that was the historical point of view of the conflict between Israelis and Palestine. Now, if we take into consider the recent situation of India, India's stand on the recent situation. So India has always supported the Palestinian cause of self-determination. Like India has always, every Prime Minister of India supported um, Palestinians to have their own country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Palestine. He also made a statement expressing solidarity with Israel and the innocent lives that were lost during the recent situation. Since Hamas's action here are of terrorism, this stand of India is justified. But then we should also not forget that even on the Palestinian side, innocent lives were lost as well. Hamas is a designated terrorist organization, but Israel is a powerful country with one of the most powerful military in the world. So Israel should have taken action in this situation more carefully rather than going all out. And as in this standoff, many innocent lives were lost as well. There are many videos from the Palestinians showing how helpless they are. So if we go to see when there is war between two countries, it's mostly that the innocent lives are lost, and nobody takes into consideration those lives. Being a more powerful country with advanced military technology, Israel should have opted for a better way of dealing with Hamas's action, because if you go to see, the Prime Minister of Israel has completely has like basically taken an oath that they would not rest until Hamas is completely destroyed. And in this process, they are killing innocent people. And if we see in the news now, even internationally, everyone is condemning Israel for their strong action. There is also internal unrest in Israel because we know Mossad, which is considered as a very powerful intelligence agency of Israel, and their failure to identify the surprise attack that was like very much condemned by the citizens of Israel. Not only that, but the border the border between Israel and Gaza. It is a wall. It is basically barricaded, and they have cameras, they have ground motion sensors, and they have regular army patrols along the border fence between these two countries, between these two regions. And the failure of the smart barrier, which is supposed to prevent exactly this sort of infiltration, leads to serious criticism from the citizens of Israel, and they also condemn the Israeli government for the security lapses. So now I would like to open this discussion to the rest of you as to what are your thoughts on the recent conflict, and if there is anything that you would like to add to it.
Yes, so Rini, very nice presentation, and you have taken efforts to present yourself with respect to this very important topic. Okay, so see, she has created her presentation, and the historical uh, background behind the conflict of Israel and Palestine is mentioned, Arab wars, and what is the status of mixed government, control of Israeli people, okay, military. So everything is described in a nice way, and in fact, she mentioned this viewpoint of India's prime minister towards this conflict, okay, and the international uh, criticism is also mentioned. So now uh, this discussion is open to all of you. Um, I am expecting, if you want to add some important points in this discussion, so you can add, okay? Um, and more information, if anybody is having a more information, so that information, if you are adding that information, so it will help others to understand this topic, okay? So yeah, all of you, and you can raise hand and you can express your opinion. And Rini, thank you for your nice presentation and expecting such kind of presentation from rest of the students associated with Sambodhi Career Academy. Yes, open to all.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Abha. Yeah, Abha.
Hello, sir. Yes.
Ah,
So regarding this current conflict which is going on between Israel and Palestine, I would also like to point out that how Western propaganda is also influencing the lives of other people. First of all, I would also like to highlight that uh, not many people know about the historical background behind the creation of Israel itself and why this conflict has been arising at the first place. But rather, I've seen some narratives which are talking about the religion side, means they are targeting the religion. But first of all, this conflict is not even did not even start because of the religious conflict, but uh, still people find the ways to make it out of the religion, and and they do not see that America USA is having such a big control over uh, providing ammunitions and arms to the Israeli military, and controlling the media and showing how it is getting victimized, but rather how the Israeli military also is creating atrocities to innocent civilians in Palestine region.
okay, you mean to say that the people are identifying the religious reasons behind the
Yes,
conflict, right?
yes, they are saying that this Hamas is they are directly declaring it like a terrorist organization, and it's
Mm-hmm.
Muslim and Jews conflict ahead. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not only just Muslim and Jews; it's also about the territories. Means, the Palestinians have lost their original home, and they are now
Right.
they are the real victims actually. And the
Mm-hmm.
USA is showing that Israel is suffering so much, but on the other hand they are only providing all the financial aid bolo ya
Support.
फिर all the support and all the weapons to Israel. And Israel is actually the I think in the world's largest country with the world's largest military expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
And the intelligence of Israel, that is Mossad, it is also very much highly advanced in most of the countries. But yet Mossad was unable to detect, Palestinian the Hamas attack.
Mm. Yeah, Reni, what is your viewpoint regarding this viewpoint of Abha?
So I agree with Ava because after studying this topic and going to the root cause of how it from where it began,
Mm.
it was the Palestinians who lost their home. They lost their country. UN gave UN divided the country equally, and since Jerusalem was a topic of conflict, they took it under their control, international control, and not they didn't divide it or they didn't give it to anyone. So basically, they had their individual countries. But after the first war of Arab-Israeli war, the
Mm.
West Bank area went into the control of Jordan, and the Gaza Strip went under the control of Egypt. And then
Mm.
later in the second war, Israelis took over the Gaza Strip area as well as the West Bank area.
Mm.
That left Palestinians with no country of their own. So where are they meant to go?
Right,
And
right.
then the other countries are supporting Israelis. Like I agree, Jews face a lot of prosecution and everywhere, but
Mm.
at this time they are being the ones who are prosecuting the Palestinians. So I think that they need to somewhere have certain peace talks and they need to divide the country properly so that each one has a place that they can call their home. So they don't have to live
Mm.
So
as refugees anymore.
yes, in fact,
Right,
after
right.
decades and decades of war, they come to sign treaties, and on the face of it, they are only the peace treaties. I mean, the Treaty of Versailles was also signed after the First World War, but we know the consequences. But such treaties don't have a very peaceful consequences hereafter, I think. because after all of that, also the war is constantly happening and people are losing their lives.
Right, right. So that is very unfortunate part of this conflict.
Yes.
Now we
Plus, the
can say that
international politics also plays a very
important
important role.
role.
There are Western countries supporting Israel, and there are Middle Eastern countries who want it to be a Palestinian country. They support Hamas's action. Now, Hamas is, I would say, they are a terrorist organization because the acts that they are doing and the actions they themselves speak as terrorist actions. However, the
Mm.
PLO, that is the Fatah that is controlling over the West Bank region of Palestine. They are a country, they are a government, they are an authority that is actually looking after the Palestinian needs. So this should
Mm.
be solved more diplomatically, proper through words than by using weapons.
Weapons. Right, 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 right. Yeah, anybody? Rest of the students? There is one another organization also, Hezbollah. So you didn't mention anything about that. Hezbollah, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was left out.
That is another test. Anyway, anybody? Rest of the students? See, try to participate in discussion. Try to. That's why I have told you all of you that you should read the topic because we want presentation and then participation. So both the P's are equally important, presentation and participation. Okay. So your presentation and participation will give you a powerful position through the examinations. Okay. So we want triple P. Okay. But to achieve the last P, we need presentation and participation. And then automatically you will achieve that power. Okay. So to acquire a power, presentation plus participation is expected. Okay. Yeah, anybody? Tejashree, Shravani, Vedika, Umang, Vaishnavi, Rimple, Purushottam,
Sir,
Nahida.
I have a concern. Um, Gaza is a small. I mean, it's a small area. They do not have enough resources. They are dependent on foreign powers and supply. For example, Iran. Iran is supporting them secretly. This is the kind of news that I've read.
Mhm.
Um and and Israel is very powerful in terms of military and defense. So my concern is that okay, Gaza wants to take an revenge, but they must have thought about the repercussions or like how they would survive this if the retaliation. So
Mhm.
once if a country with such a strong military force and defense retaliates back with full force, how would you survive that?
Right, right. Mm.
Sir, I
So
also read a report which said that Gaza is being, so basically they are being cut off from the world by Israel and Egypt. So mostly the resources that they get are from the aids provided by the different countries. So that is how they're able to acquire weapons as well. Now, like he said about the weapons, I read it in the news saying where Gaza said that Hamas said that they have enough weapons to counterattack Israel. However, Israel also needs to take this into consideration that uh, having a large army and many resources, it is evident that Gaza is not going to survive out of this at the end. So they need to take this in a more, they need to take this situation into consideration in a more, uh, what do you say?
Humanitarian manner.
Yeah, humanitarian manner, yes.
Mm. Mm.
Because I recently saw a video where a Palestinian lady was saying that they were in this area
Mm.
and they were hiding in this area and the Israeli army told them that they need to leave that area, go to the south region. So they moved from there, and while they were going, Israel conducted airstrikes at that place, leading innocent lives to
Right,
be
right.
massacred.
That is happening. That is happening. People are living from the specific areas because they have threatened them for the attack. And so the people are leaving their areas, okay, and they are taking shelter to the safe zones. But since the geographical area is very small, as you have shown us the map, so there is as such uh, land area is very small. Okay, land. Okay, because this side to the west side there is sea, Mediterranean Sea, and uh, rest of the side is west side is land. But if you are coming to the west side, to the east side, then again there is a that those east side is under the control of Israel. So that is a problem. Ki where even if they are moving from their region, and even if they are going to other regions for the shelter, so that is also a difficult situation for the people. Yeah, Aditya is saying something about Hezbollah. Aditya. Aditya, are you there?
तेवढंच
हम्म. हा बोल ना आदित्य.
तेवढंच होतं ते छोटा
अच्छा.
हा
Okay, Shia organization supported by Iran. Okay, ठीक है. चलो ठीक है. So anybody? Students, rest of the students? Yeah, Sakshi.
Yeah, so looking towards the way forward of this, so I recently read in the newspaper today that the normalization agreement between Israel and UAE, that
Hmm.
is Sudan, Morocco, Bahrain, these all are known as an Abraham Accords and are in the steps of right direction. So all the regional powers should come together and maintain the peace between two countries on the line of Abraham Accord. That would help help in uh, like strengthening their
Maintaining peace.
relations and having peace overall the Israel and UAE.
Good. Okay. So that what is the name of that accord?
So Abraham Accord.
Abraham.
Yeah, sir.
Abraham Accord. Okay, okay, fine. Yeah, so that is important. That accord is important, and the involvement of the different countries. Okay, that is important. See, in today's discussion, Rini shared some screenshots. So all of you go through those screenshots. I hope, and while whenever somebody is presenting such a presentation, so you should take such screenshots for the more to get the your doubts clear. Okay, because that specific map, first Arab-Israel conflict, second Arab-Israel conflict, and initial sites. So through that information, there is a possibility of some questions. Okay, with respect to any kind of objective like multiple choice question examination, what is important here that many a times earlier also, like now this recent war is an news, okay, is in news. But earlier also, on many occasions, there were small conflicts between Israel and the Pakistan, Israel and the Palestine. And that's why on many occasions, there were questions in different examinations, right? So in 2024 examinations and afterwards also, there is a possibility if somebody is appearing for interview, if somebody is appearing for objective kind of examination, that is prelims examination, mains examination, so there is a possibility of questions on this topic. Okay, so you should have proper understanding of the geography of that specific region. Okay, Jordan, Syria, Mediterranean Sea, Egypt, and then this location of Israel. The area already that map is shared by Rainy with you. That is very important map, right? That last map, I think, that is very important map. Okay, and Rini, you just share all those slides with me also. So I will share with the students in different groups and go through all those slides and the outfits like Hamas, Hezbollah, these outfits are also important. You need to go through the history of these outfits. Okay, then the role of international organizations in this conflict, like what what United Nations is saying, okay, what America is saying, okay, what Russia is saying, okay, because the two powers like Russia and America, so their statement is important. At the same time, what is point of view of India, that is also important. Rini already mentioned all the viewpoints of different countries and the organizations. Okay, and with respect to this topic, there is a divide. Okay, there is a division. One group, she already mentioned that one group is supporting Hamas and the Palestine, another group is supporting Israel. Okay, so you need to see those blocks also. Okay, and in what manner they are supporting. Okay, like just recently there was news that America sent its ship, warship, okay, loaded with so many things. Okay, so many things to support Israel. Okay, so that is important. Okay, and overall Israel. Okay, overall Israel as a country, very key points about Israel. You need to identify the key points about Israel with respect to examinations. Okay, so you need to consider this topic. If you are considering this topic with respect to examination, so objective level and subjective level. Okay, and then opinion level. On 3 levels, you need to understand this topic. What is the possibility of questions in objective multiple choice examination, and what is the possibility of questions and your explanation at mains level examination as far as the UPSC civil services is concerned. Okay, and opinion. Okay, opinion with respect to the interview. Okay, so I hope this is sufficient for today's discussion. On Monday, our new participant will have another topic. So Vedika, you get ready for the new topic and you send me your topic of discussion within 2 days.
Yes, sir.
This time we got little time. I think Rini also didn't get sufficient time because yesterday I have allocated this topic to Rini. Means she allocated this topic. Okay, so but for the next discussion, means every Monday we shall have this discussion from 9 to 10 p.m. Okay, and we shall give at least 5 to 6 days for the preparation, better preparation, so that the other people will also involve in this discussion. Okay, so good night to all of you, and thank you very much, Rini, and thanks all the students. I hope you are finding this a special group discussion session on the platform of Sambodhi Career Academy. This will definitely help you. बरं वाटतंय तुम्हाला, म्हणजे what is your opinion since we have started this innovative activity? रात्री झोपताना आपण स्टार्ट केलेली आहे आणि आपले कॉम्पिटिटर्स देशात आहेत, राज्यात आहेत, मुंबईमध्ये आहेत, ठाण्यामध्ये आहेत. ओके, सो त्याच्यामुळे मला वाटतं की या ऍक्टिव्हिटीज मधून तुम्हाला 100% फायदा होईल. जे मराठी मीडियम मधून करणारे स्टुडंट्स आहेत त्यांनी सुद्धा पार्टिसिपेट होत चला. इंग्लिशमध्ये आणि इंग्लिशमध्ये प्रेझेंटेशन देताना थोडं मध्ये मध्ये हिंदी यूज केलं तर बाकी मराठी मीडियमच्या स्टुडंटला पण थोडं समजेल, त्या दृष्टीने पण काम करा. ओके, सो हेल्पफुल वाटतंय तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना? यस
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
ओके, चला तर सगळ्यांनी पार्टिसिपेट व्हा आणि आपल्याला सगळ्यांनाच क्वालिफाय व्हायचं आहे. म्हणजे मला सोडून तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना क्वालिफाय व्हायचं आहे. त्याच्यामुळे तुम्ही सगळ्यांनी मेहनत घ्या याच्यावरती. ठीक आहे, So good night to all of you. Bye for the time. Thank you.